What's up, Governor? Coach Troy Brown here. Today we're back again with leg day, you guessed it, and it's the Governor way, right? And what we're thinking about today is primarily leg day for lower extremities. We're going to think about challenging hamstring, adductor, right? Adductor longus, adductor magnus, glute maximus, glute medius, glute minimus, and then we're going to do some quads. All right, guys, so we've basically got 2 exercises to warm up, and then we're going to do 5 key movements to help facilitate the lower extremities. So, exercise number 1 for the warm-up today. Stand up, get balanced, get stable, and I'm going to let one leg dangle off. So this is stable, right? Braced abs, go to 90 degrees of hip flexion. Stop about there and come up. And I usually do about 12 reps, and I'll do 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down, or constant continuous muscular tension, Governor. So this is part of my second exercise. So what I do is I keep my feet in the middle of the ball, keep my hands out the side for balance, and I'm going to do this in 2 phases. Phase 1, I'm going to extend my hip. Phase 2, I'm going to flex the knee. This is going to look something like this. Use my hands, come up, stabilize. My core is working here as well, which is a 1-2 punch. Hip extension, knee flexion. 2 seconds in, 2 seconds out. And that is juicy on the hamstring. If I want to make it a little bit harder, which I don't really do in my warm-up, I might even point my toes forwards, which is plantar flexion, and that's even more spicy. And I'll superset those 2 together, and I'll do about 3 sets, and then I'm ready to go. If I still don't feel warmed up, I'm going to maybe do abduction and adduction work. So what you're going to do is extend hip that way, and then think about, in your mind's eye, you're going to go down and out, so you're pressing your feet into the platform. You're going to go down and out, and importantly, down and in. Now I'm going to go down and out, down and in, down and out, down and in. Next one, I'm going to go into ad or adduction. I never did in my career, I wish I did. Now, I probably could get a little bit more range if I wanted to, but I don't want to jinx anything. Just keep the tension on, don't let the muscle relax. That's the objective. There's no free ride on the muscle, Governor. It's continuous, it's constant, and there's no rest. Tension is the name of the game. So that's 3 sets there. I'm ready to go. So that was extra. I wouldn't class that in the program, but I feel like I need to warm up a little bit more. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to do a little bit more warming up. It's always better to be safe than sorry, right? I saw Charles Glass do this exercise the other day. Massive fan of his work and his material. What he was doing single leg, but he was doing it in a different way. Is he came up onto his forearms. It basically tells your hips to drive down an extension, which, by the way, is a function of the hamstring. We're going to do another set. So I usually rest for about a minute, jump back in again. Very important. You don't want to stick your bum out in the air. Drive your hip down. The thing about this exercise, the problem with it, is when you start at the bottom, about here, when the knee's in line with the axis of rotation, there's a little float there, which means tension primarily could come off the hamstring. Your objective is to create constant continuous tension on the muscle. So what would you do in this situation? You wouldn't go as low. You would stay away from this bottom position, and you'd probably start about here and end about there. Last set, most productive. Now, most people don't have the luxury of using this fabulous machine. This is the Super Power Squat by Panada. There's many things you can do on this. I like it for the back squat, and I also love it for good mornings. So we're gonna do the good morning. I like my heels pretty close to the edge. My feet are about hip width apart. The key to this one is keep the core braced. Gonna use the handles to stabilize. My feet are hip width, soft knee, or I can go completely locked. And my intention in my mind is to feel the muscles, the posterior chain, hamstrings and glutes in particular, to lengthen in the bottom. We don't have to do this. Glutes going backwards, glutes going forward, glutes going backwards. All right, last set. Normally I go a lot heavier than this, but just trying to show you guys a little bit more form and execution. That way you get more out of it, right? So what we did there, guys, first movement for hamstring was a shortening movement, right? Leg bicep. And then this is a lengthening exercise, which really puts a lot of emphasis on the hamstring, but you will get a ton of glute max activation as well. Now we're gonna go and do quads. So old school Troy would do it, fold my knees out, and then come up. Mature Troy gets his knee in line with his acetabulum. He lines it all up, right? And then I drive away, right? All the work is at the top. Wow. If I want to make it harder, I'm going to shove my glutes down and shove up. Right, leverage the handles, that's what they're there for. So it's not going up, it's going out. See how it's going out, it's going out, it's going out, it's going out, it's going out. So when you do it, think in your mind's eye about driving away, right? It's going out. It's going out. This one, the Atlantis, this is a different animal, this one. We've got two different types of hack squat. So hack squat is primarily a quad recep movement. Now I'll do this for quads, but I'll also do it for glutes. If I'm doing more of a, I hate to say the word, bias in my quads, I'm gonna use both feet and have my feet further down the platform. Brace, drive the handles down. Keep the knees soft. Let me ask you a question. Who do you think has the best quad development in all of physique development? One man comes to mind, we all know who he is, the legendary Mr. Tom Platz, right? You never saw videos of him when he was doing hack squat with his feet high up the platform. He never had his feet at the top. So what I do see is a lot of guys in the gym, they'll load it up, right, max out with plates, and then they'll put their feet right at the top. For me, that doesn't make sense. Wouldn't you rather stop ego lifting, drop the load, and then bring the feet down further to challenge the quads more? Here's my point, watch this. If I put my feet all the way up, right, I'm short anyway, I'm 5'6", right? That for me doesn't feel like a lot of quads, but when I bring my feet lower down the platform, now my knees move forward. What I do a lot of is I'll do a lot of pausing in the bottom. 1, 2, drive. I'm making my quads work harder to initiate at the bottom. 1, 2. Let's put some more weight on. I'll do one more. My feet are about hip width. Right, I'm gonna shove up, use the handbrake, brace trunk, knees are already soft, there's already tension. I don't want to do any of this. There's already tension here, and I'm just going to create max tension, pause in the bottom for 2, and then allow those knees to go forward. 2. 1, 2. More. This is the Nautilus hack squat. The Nautilus hack squat. It's a different animal than what we just used. You'll notice that one, you don't go as deep on it. You can't get as deep. But this one, you can bury it and go a lot deeper. Most guys would load this sucker up and put their feet at the top, and then they squat down. But wouldn't you want the knees to go over toes a little more? I like my feet further down the platform. Does it mean less load? Yes, but it means more knee extension. When I get to the bottom, I want my hamstring to sit on top of my calf. So when I'm in that bottom position, the hamstring's sitting on right on top of the calf muscle. Look at that knee extension. Where's all that going? It's going to the quads. Now most of you guys will say, well, I can't lift any weight doing that. It's not the point. The point is to challenge the muscle to make the quads do more work. More hamstring, more glutes, maybe. I'm gonna go heavier. I want to make my quads work harder now, not make my ego work harder by going loading plates. I've done all that, that's years ago. Now it's about smart training, challenging the muscle, and just making sets harder. All right, last set. Okay. That was 12 there. I like 12. It's a good number for legs. All right, that'll do. All right, that's a wrap, guys. We're done there. Really appreciate you watching. Any value, let me know. Put a comment in the bottom section below underneath the video. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell to get access to more videos like this today. And remember, it's the way, it's the governor way. And if it makes sense, it makes muscle. What's up, governor?